Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dairy Aisle. It's your host, Eli. As always, with me is James Mazzarato.
How you doing, Eli? Thank you for having me.
No problem. I thought I'd hit it with a bit of a radio intro today.
I love it.
I love it.
Welcome to WWWKRXWY.
Can we just make up random letters for the podcast? We'll throw a number in there just to fuck with people. Welcome to 101.5, not Light FM. We'll throw in letters that no one ever uses. Welcome to GXR 72.
Well, let's not even use like R or X. Let's just be like...
We'll use Sumerian letters. Welcome to cuneiform, ... to the left, 3 dots to the right.
Welcome
Your
to like
favorite Braille
CC,
podcast.
like CCLPT.
KFC, AT&T.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
What happened?
We're already starting all fucked. Where's the volume on these?
They don't have a volume control.
Jesus fuck.
That's going to be over there.
Things are loud. It has been...
It's been a week.
It's been a 2 weeks.
Has
It's
it?
been a 2 weeks.
Well, first off, since I know that your 2 weeks have been packed with being a homeowner now for the second time and also doing renovations for the second
Currently in the middle of renovations.
Yeah. How's that going for you?
It's going right now. So I'm currently, I got to escape for a little bit, but God bless my wife's heart. So we have the guys doing our master bedroom there right now. So they did the popcorn yesterday. They removed the popcorn from the ceiling. Thank the Lord. And then they're now doing, like, they're patching up all the walls and they're going to start painting. And then we have our tile guy coming tomorrow to rip the carpet out and then start the tiling of the floor. So we're excited. We had run into some issues, but we were able to, like, fix them on the fly, which is great. But we had one of our contractors who were originally going to do our bedroom just fucking bailed.
Was that this morning?
The night before.
Oh, the night before. I thought that was the conversation you had with Christy this morning.
No, he was supposed to come on Thursday, and then it's the Wednesday night because we had Terminex come on Wednesday.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, because you have wood, like the slant in our ceiling, we have like a 30-foot vaulted ceiling in the living room.
Right.
Humble brag. And so, but it's wood. It's wood paneled. But we had some termites in our bathroom in the master bedroom, which is not too far away from that.
Those bastards.
So Terminex came and he was like, hey, there was some live specimens, but I'm going to spray this down. I don't think you have an infestation, but I want to do the wooden ceiling just in case. So we're like, okay, cool. So that put like a gap into when we were going to start the living room. This guy was like not about waiting. He wanted to do it all in one. I was like, you got to fucking wait. He's like, oh, no vale la pena. Like it doesn't.
It's not worth the cost.
It's not worth coming. So we're like, are you fucking kidding? The night before? I was like, okay, so you're not getting any of it. You were going to get paid like $4,000. You're not getting paid anything now.
Yeah, sucks.
And we're going to hire someone else. And we hired a guy that was
Instantly showed up.
honestly probably one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Douglas, shout out. Beautiful. Recommend him.
Shout out to Doug.
And he's doing a fucking great job. He was able to start the next day, and he was even cheaper. He came in cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, he quoted us cheaper. I was like, okay, cool.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, he came in under. And then we have another guy for the living room. But it's going good so far. It is. It's going.
But
and
it
we're
is
excited
stressful
about it.
though, huh?
It's stressful because we don't have the space. You know what I mean? Like we just want the normalcy of having our own space.
Yeah,
again.
of course. Well, because you're coming from when you were at the townhouse where you had your cave was set up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No, and everything was like
Because
we
as
had our
humans,
routine.
that's what we're always trying to do. Like when we have like an apartment or you buy a house or whatever and you're renovating,
Oh yeah.
you're just trying to make your cave work.
I
you know?
mean, even at work, you try to implement routine or like some kind of
Yep.
like your normal, right? Like an anchor for you to be
That's
like,
how it
okay,
is for
I
me
need
at work.
this.
I've developed a routine. Like when I get to the store now, like I'll clock in, I'll put my backpack in my locker, I'll grab my apron, and I'll go and do my stretches before I start the day. And then I won't even put my
Kegels?
apron on.
Kegels.
Sometimes if I'm feeling sexy.
Smart.
And then I'll go.
Got to keep that puss tight.
Got to. I mean, what's the point of even getting out of bed?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have a loose puss, stay home. What the fuck are you doing,
Why are you even here? So I'll go.
Elias? I noticed I was walking your aisle, and is your puss a little loose today?
It shows.
You know, it could use a little tightening.
Yeah.
Look,
Get to the Kegels.
go take half an hour. Go fucking tighten it up, and then you can come back and get to work. Okay.
We need to talk one of these days about the person who invented Kegels because that's.
You know, it was someone just like, just in the bathroom, like, if I squeeze really hard,
This is kind of nice.
I could sell this on the internet.
I like that they did this though hundreds of years before the internet was
yeah, for
invented.
Yeah, I'm just talking a whole bunch of shit.
Well, I'll after I do my my Kegels and all the other stretches that apparently I have to do. I'll go and I'll check the schedule for the day. So I'll see who I'm working with because I don't like walking through the aisles and be like, well, who's here today? And also that way I get to see who's like what management member is there today. So I know whether it's like a butt clenching kind of day or just relax and just don't do anything.
Smart. Got it. Yeah. Routine helps to fight against like that weird feeling of
uncertainty.
Yeah. Like that weird feeling of change or in my situation change because like right now the house is in limbo, right? So like we're changing the function of whole rooms.
Yeah.
So
the design, like the aesthetic,
it's weird. It's like we finally have like a living room, like a common space set up, and it's so nice because it's like it's an anchor. You could be like, okay, this is a common room. Because where we set up the dining room, remember like the elevated wooden section where the dining room was?
Yeah.
There's no dining room there anymore. The dining room is a checkered floor room.
Really?
Which was a living room.
But that was the workout room.
No, the workout room is past the French doors where Christina's bedroom is. You have to come to the house. I don't know why you haven't been to
because I haven't been there. I need to go now before you guys finish renovations because I at least want to go there and see if it still kind of looks like it did when I was in ninth grade with you guys. Because that's the last time I was there. It's ninth grade.
It still looks like that. Obviously, because
when I saw the videos on Chrissy's Instagram of the checkered floor.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Oh, did it take you back? Checkered floor.
Talk about time travel.
Oh, dude.
It's
nuts.
By the way, last time I was in that room was when it was an office.
Oh my god! And it had terrazza tile.
Yeah.
It does not have terrazza as indoor tile now. So for a lot of you who don't know, because why would you know?
Yeah.
But we moved into my mother-in-law's house, right? Because
I think you touched on this in the last episode.
She wanted to downsize. We needed to upsize, so we switched properties. But this house is where I met my wife in 10th grade or in 11th grade. We were 16 and that's where she's lived since she was like 13. And then, eventually we moved out to the townhouse and we were living there for like 6 years, but like the house hasn't changed much. And like, I'm talking about, this is where we met a lot of our friends. This is where we had like the crazy parties and memories of that, where we celebrated birthdays, where I proposed to her for the first time was at the house. Like this house has so many memories in it.
No, you're lucky that you guys can go back.
Like, oh no. Yeah. We feel blessed.
Like when we moved, when Mills and I moved back in, I think it was like 2013, I think it was when we moved out of my childhood home. You remember which one?
Yeah. The one off of
Sunset
17.
Yeah. Dude, I moved into that house when I was like a year and like 2 months old. Like we moved in right before Hurricane Andrew, basically.
And then
Andrew was
I think
24, 23. I think 23 or 24.
That's nuts.
And it was just like surreal, like moving out of that house and like being in an apartment. I still remember the first night in the apartment that we had the bed set up. And I remember just it being like 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. And I was just like laying awake, like looking at the room.
Oh.
And for like a year, every once in a while, like I'd wake up and I would like before my eyes opened, like when my brain was like kind of consciously aware of where I was, I thought I was still at my old house.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I'd be like, the light is on the wrong side of the room coming from the window. Where am I? And that's when it was like, wait a minute, I'm not in my room anymore. I'm in my apartment.
That's the worst feeling.
God damn it. This sucks.
It happens to me very seldomly. Like that doesn't happen. It usually happens to me when like I'm in a hotel somewhere and I'll wake up and be like, what? Oh.
Yeah. It's usually not a fun feeling for me, but
it happens to Christy all the time.
Yeah.
If she wakes up in the middle of the night, she kind of freaks out a little bit.
Really?
Especially if I'm not there.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't go to sleep unless Millie's home. Like when Millie's like, oh, I'm at my friend's house.
You're like, oh, well, I guess I'm
staying up till whenever you come home then. Yeah, my brain won't let me go to sleep. It just doesn't. But no, when my parents sold the house, the guy that bought it demolished it and just built a new house. Yep.
A lot of people do that, especially that area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the houses are ancient. The houses are from 1952.
Not to mention, you have so much land. Like, there's so much unused land that he can turn into a house.
He demolished it. He built a new house.
Two-story?
It's a single story, same style, like a ranch style home, more modern. And then in the back, he built like a separate studio because he's a photographer.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm sure has like a dark room and
it must look beautiful too.
Yeah, I'm sure. But the house on the outside is hideous because he just painted it gray.
What?
Yeah, it's just gray.
Oh.
It's gray with like white. I'm like, that's what the inside maybe should look like, but the outside,
it's very artist though. It's very artist.
Whatever. It looks super good. It looks super cookie cutter, like Better Home and Gardens type shit.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like it has no personality.
that's
My
what
old
everyone
house had
wants.
personality on the outside. You know?
Everyone wants that better home look, but you have to add your own character to it.
Yeah, man,
I
like-
agree with you. You have to add your own little
Oh,
touch.
like an abandoned car,
Yeah. Yeah. Give it a little something. Maybe a hole in the ceiling.
something.
Something. Give it something. Like
little
a
meth
story.
lab in the garage or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
The
Maybe a
spice
hand.
the spice of life.
A hand
really.
sticking out of the dirt.
A little bit of blood splatter on the garage door.
Yeah, you gotta spice up your life.
It might be blood. It might be doo-doo. Who knows?
Who knows? It's dry at this point, so it's kind of the same color.
It could be both.
Why don't you smell it? Give it a taste. Try it out.
Yeah.
You know, poop or blood. Figure it out.
That's a weird game.
It's how AIDS spread.
Oh no.
Playing poop or blood.
Anyways, we're gonna move on from that.
But yeah, so it's been crazy and it's been hectic and it's been stressful. But we're really excited. We're honestly really excited
Yeah, you guys are
to see
making
how
a
it
ton of
comes out.
progress.
I want you to see it before we're done.
I know.
You'll definitely recognize it. But yeah, it's been a fucking thing, you know?
But you guys also have your little backyard area set up
Oh no, and that we've been using
with like the sun sail
It's-
and Marie setting up all her plants and stuff. And
It's summer though, so
It's
it
a
rains
billion
all the
degrees
goddamn-
outside
It
with
rains all the time.
and it's 1,000% humidity.
I'll take the heat just because I
raining.
can't. I've been wanting to woodwork. I finally got everything sanded down because I've just been able to work like 45 minutes here, an hour there because either I don't have time or it's fucking raining, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well I can't do anything. So
Also,
But
remember for the pressure treated wood, you have to wait like 2 weeks for it to dry out before you can like paint it or stain it. Just be aware.
I'm not staining it. I'm just sealing it.
That's why you still have to wait for it to dry out.
Really?
Yeah, you have to give it like 2 or 3 weeks.
So the fence style posts, those.
Yeah. So the pressure treated ones that we got you, that have like the green stuff in it that they felt like damp.
So
You have to give them like 2 weeks to dry out.
Okay, so it needs like
But if they're
4 more days, I think.
Yeah, but if they're sitting inside of inside of the shed, since the shed gets so hot in there, they'll probably dry out faster.
Hey, they look and feel really dry.
Yeah, you still have to
So,
give them time though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'll wait like the few days or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's my life. How's your life?
Hello, Bab.
How's your life going?
It's going okay. Work is the same as always. Now that the school year has started, it's a little bit less hectic. There's less people in there. So
Gotta
like,
focus on the shitty kids.
well, like yeah, like after 2:30, 3 o'clock, that's it. The store just dies down completely until like when I'm ready to leave, and then it picks up again. But thankfully, it picks up after I leave, so I'm like, it's not my fucking problem.
Dude, we took a little trip. We had to go get the fucking baseboards. So we
Ooh,
went to
yeah.
the one here on Bird, which by the way, garbage.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. I hate that store.
It's an absolute nightmare. No one knows where anything fucking is. No one speaks English. Look, listen. I'm Cuban. I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But I like speaking English when I go into a fucking store.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's my
No.
first fucking language.
It is what it is.
It's where I feel most comfortable. So if you look for anything that's not like very fucking basic, it's now you're in the fucking Tower of Babel. Now
Yeah.
you're like, okay, let's try to figure this out. Because I
Can
don't know
you
how to
speak
explain
Braille?
this. Yeah, like
Left dot, right dot.
so yeah, we had to stop there to get the baseboards. And it was D'd the fuck up. Because it was 9:30 in the morning. And everyone gets there at 9:30 in the morning. So it was fun. But yeah. Home Depot.
How much of a mission was it to get somebody to tell you where the baseboards are?
No, I knew where they were.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to go find them just fine. But what was it? What was it that really, like, I went there looking for something and they didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about? Oh, the pocket hole jig. When I first went to go look for it,
They had no clue.
dude, I said pocket hole jig and they looked at me like I just fucking cast a spell. They were like, what the fuck are you doing
They
here?
just started throwing fucking chicken feathers
Yeah.
at you like, no!
They tried to put me up and fucking burn me. It was weird. I had to run out of
You had
there.
a whole Wicker Man experience.
Yeah, it was fucked. But yeah, they
Speaking
don't know where
of,
anything fucking is.
Speaking of weird movies like The Wicker Man, did you hear about The Matrix is coming back?
I didn't hear about the Matrix is coming back.
They're making a new Matrix movie.
With
And
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu. Him and
I
Carrie
did hear
Fisher are
about
coming
this.
back.
Yes, I saw like an Instagram
Carrie
post
Fisher? Is
about
that her
it.
name?
No, her name's not Carrie Fisher.
No, that's Princess Leia.
I'll pull up her name now. But yeah, talk about this.
Carrie
Tell me
Ann
about
Moss?
this.
Is that was that her name?
Might be Carrie Ann Moss. But tell me about this. So what's this going to be? Is it going to be a
basically
movie, a
Neo
show?
and Trinity are coming back. No, it's a movie.
Are they just doing one movie?
Supposedly, it's just The Matrix 4.
And is it the Wachowskis?
I don't know. It's not the Wachowskis are not directing it.
Carrie
It's
Ann Moss.
Carrie Ann Moss. Okay, I was right the second time around. It is
Shout out to Carrie Ann Moss.
shout out to Carrie Ann. If you ever want to be on the show, just let us know. Hit
Still
us up
tight.
at the dairy aisle.
Yeah.
So they're making another one. Keanu and Carrie Ann Moss confirmed that they're coming back for it.
I'm so excited.
That's going to be dope.
Anything Keanu Reeves is in, I'm like, yeah, I'll go watch that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
They haven't said anything about the storyline. They're not, like, nobody's saying if it's a prequel or a sequel or a standalone.
Oh, yeah, because he's dead. He dies at the end of... Oh, no.
He dies.
He died, but the program gets rebooted.
Yes and no.
Because the Oracle
so, like,
and the Architect are sitting in the fucking park.
right. Well,
they're there.
There was this misconception a long time ago that Neo is the one.
He's not. It's Agent Smith.
He's not. Smith
Agent Smith is the anomaly.
Right, but the program refers to the anomaly as the one, or like that's how the people who wake up from the Matrix and then are in Zion, they think that the anomaly is the one and vice versa, but it's not. They're two separate entities.
The one is actually part of the program.
Right.
And it's meant to keep the anomaly in check.
Exactly. That's what they think Neo was, or that's what they think gave him like his powers in the Matrix. Because like the thing is that like Morpheus had explained in some of the movies, as long as you realize that the rules don't really apply to you in the Matrix, it's all fake, you can do whatever you want. You
Yeah,
fuck
it's
around
like
with the
being in
program.
a dream and knowing you're in a dream. You're
Right.
like, oh, I could just...
That's lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can do things that other people cannot, even though he's playing by their same rules, and I'm using air quotes, is the reason that he's the one.
Yeah.
And Smith is the anomaly. He's the one that changes the Matrix.
Yeah.
Not Neo. Neo doesn't change the Matrix. He just keeps it stable.
Agent Smith is the virus that's destroying the program.
Right. But
Because he wants to be free from the program.
they hint at in the Matrix Online that Neo doesn't actually die.
The Matrix Online?
Yes.
The fuck is that?
There was a game that came out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was like an MMO called The Matrix Online, and it was like the storyline in the game was supposedly canon. Like the Wachowskis signed off on it and everything.
Fuck me, really?
You just play as like a regular like person, like in the game, like
Okay.
like someone who's part of like Morpheus' whole little group. But in the lore in the game, they hint at the fact that like Neo's not actually dead. Like he's gonna come back, but that he is like the one is a program that wrote itself. Basically, it was like AI basically.
Okay.
That saw the anomalies in the Matrix
And was like, "We need something to
it's
fix
not
it."
perfect, but we need to keep it stable. We need to make the one because eventually an anomaly is going to show up. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna
so he
want- and it's
basically
gonna wanna break free.
Yeah, so Neo's essentially antivirus.
Yeah.
But
He's like Norton.
He's equal to Smith. He is not stronger or
they're
weaker. They're
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Basically.
exactly. But that was always the point, was that Neo's never there to save the day and be a hero. He's there to just cancel out the effects of a virus so the Matrix can find stability.
Yeah.
Because if the Matrix fails, then all these bodies that are plugged into the Matrix die.
Just die, yeah.
And now the fucking robos have no way to fucking harness energy.
And then everyone's just basically dead.
Did you hear that I added a T to the end of harnessed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to float right past that.
I'm not going to let myself sail
know?
past that. Harness energy. There's no T involved there.
But they could harness it.
You know what it was? My brain was probably like, you want to say the word harvest. But it's harness.
Harvest it.
Harvest. But I'm super excited for it. I think he's done such great work lately with like the John Wick series and some of his like smaller titles that have been a little bit more nuanced.
He's also done some cameos that have been fucking awesome.
And he's dude, Bill and Ted is coming back.
I don't know how I feel about Bill and Ted.
I'm so excited for that. Listen, it's time to be excellent to one another again.
That Keanu died.
No, he did not. He's
died.
He's like a fine wine.
Let's see how well it aged. Let's see if it turned to fucking vinegar. We'll see. We'll see.
We will.
Who are they going to go back in time and grab?
I don't know. They might go forward in time.
Oh, don't do that. Well, maybe do that.
It's like the George Carlin's not going to be around
I don't
anymore.
know what I want.
But while we're on the subject of movies, since before we started recording, I know that we hit the same general consensus, but we decided we'd talk about it anyways.
Okay.
We need to talk about this fucking really unfortunate custody battle that's going on with Spider-Man. This poor kid.
Ugly divorce that's going on between
so
two
bad.
massive corporations. Yeah, the Disney Sony fucking can't come to terms with the Spider-Man, huh?
Right. So I guess we'll break this down for maybe some of you who aren't.
If you haven't
into
heard
the
the
news.
details, yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I know something's going on with Spider-Man. That's all I heard. So
If you want to take it away.
Sony Pictures, like Sony Entertainment, owns the rights to Spider-Man when it comes to movie making.
Yeah,
So
cinematic rights to Spider-Man.
right. However, Marvel Studios still retains the licensing rights for Spider-Man as a comic book hero, as an action figure, a toy, a video
Merchandise,
game.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, everything that's not movies, they got them. they were able to use him for the MCU. I think it was originally like with Sony's permission or some shit like that, wasn't it?
Well, so the deal. So this is how the deal broke down, and apparently I found out some interesting facts about employment. So Kevin Feige and I think this woman, I think her name is like Amy. It's Amy something, but Kevin Feige and her were friends, and she was like the VP of like Sony Entertainment at the time or something like that. So they were able to come to a deal, right? The contract was Disney would take, if they added Spider-Man to the MCU, Disney would take 5% of opening weekend,
right,
of first gross, 5% of that, plus all of the merchandising rights.
Yeah.
So anything that had Spider-Man on it that was sold went to Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
Sony took the rest of the box office.
After opening weekend.
After opening, they took 100% and 95% of opening. So that 1.1 billion that Far From Home made, that 1 billion of that went to Sony.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think Disney Marvel took the brunt of the development cost. I think Sony had to put in some percentage.
Right.
But Disney Marvel took the brunt of it.
It eventually approached what? It was 50-50 was the part of the deal that fell apart, right?
I think, yeah. So when Disney went to go renegotiate and do all that thing, I think they wanted 50% of the box plus the merchandising.
No, I'm saying, wasn't it that like Disney told Sony like, hey, we'll split production costs. We'll do 50-50 and we'll split...
And we'll split box office.
I think
they wanted box office.
And then
Sony
was like, no.
Sony went,
we don't have the kind of money to produce these films on the level that you do.
I think they do.
I don't think so.
I think they do.
I don't think Sony has the
they
financial capabilities that Disney has.
I think you're underestimating Sony. And I think you're underestimating how much money they've already made off of Spider-Man using the MCU.
I guess.
And they can just put that back in. They can put a percentage of that back in and not even feel it.
Think about projected costs. So you know how much money Disney's going to make now with Disney Plus?
Dude, they're going to make a fuck ton of money.
So, of course, to them,
let's say Spider-Man's one of the big... It's a big budget movie, obviously. So let's say $200 million to make. You're telling me Sony can't put in $100 million?
Of course they can.
They made $1 billion off of it.
But they still have to pay their actors, and they still got to pay a bunch of other shit.
When you talk a $200 million budget movie is a $200 million budget movie. That's actors, that's production, that's VFX, that's everything. That's special effects, everything.
Isn't it crazy that it costs that much to make a 2-hour movie? It's like $100 million per hour, basically. If you break it down.
Oh, yeah, that is.
It's like
there's a lot more work that goes into it, but yeah.
I guess.
It's like you watch a movie and I was like, that's $200 million worth of movie.
I almost feel like if I won like some crazy lotto, like $700 million or something after tax, I'd want to be like, can I donate like $100 million to like a studio? And if the movie does really good, I want like I want my investment back plus whatever I make.
You could take $200 million and bankroll a movie. You could be like, well, I'll bankroll. You just have to find, but now you're taking a risk. Like, who are you trusting with this?
Well, no.
You know what I mean? That's the...
Call Keanu.
Keanu, who should I put on this movie?
You.
I want to make a movie about a sentient foot.
Keanu's sentient foot.
Yeah, Keanu's sentient.
But the foot is John Wick. It shoots people. Pew, 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 pew.
Keanu steps. What's it called? But yeah, so that was the deal broke down, and then they announced that they couldn't come to terms, and that Spider-Man would be leaving the MCU and all this stuff,
which is kind of dumb.
Yeah. So what are your feels on it? What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely with Sony on this one. I feel like I personally I feel like they were getting the shit end of the stick on this one, a little bit. Granted, I understand how important Spider-Man is to the MCU. He's a major player. And especially after everything that happened with Infinity War and Endgame and stuff like that, like people were like, yes, finally.
Spider-Man is the most popular character Marvel has ever put out.
Yep.
No,
hands down.
Hands down, he is the face of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Spider-Man, so,
But even what's his name? What's her name? I'm sorry. Joan Lee. Stan Lee's daughter, recently put out like a statement saying that nobody treated her dad worse than Marvel and Disney.
Yep.
Like they treated him with such disrespect. Like when he died, she didn't receive a phone call, a letter. The family didn't get anything from Disney or Marvel being like, yo, you have our condolences, blah, blah, blah. Like
I saw
nothing. And yet apparently she did get contacted by Sony when he passed away.
Yeah.
And Sony was like, we are so, so sorry. Like, that sucks.
Fucking easy breezy Japanese, man. They
Yeah,
got
it's
that
not
respect.
hard.
They
Like
got
you
that
can get a
respect.
phone call, even will do it.
Yeah, anything, dude.
But
An
also, like,
email,
it's
fuck.
But it's Stan Lee. Like you need to stop and have reverence for a giant.
Yeah.
Like and stop. Like take
Yeah.
your corporate bullshit out of the equation for a second, and just like give somebody like be human. Give them a condolences, and especially when it's someone like Stan Lee that gave all of us like a universe to run away to when we were kids, and to gave us like.
And is responsible for so many iconic characters.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. No, he's responsible
them,
for
dude.
this whole pop culture revolution. The
Yeah.
last, what would you say, 10 years?
the very character you're arguing over.
Yeah, I mean.
Like,
It's fucking crazy. But I don't know. I'm just kind of with Sony on this one. I feel like they deserve a better deal, and they know what they have as far as movie rights to Spider-Man.
for sure.
And
Now,
they don't want to let it go for peanuts, which I get.
no, they're never selling that because it's too valuable. Like they,
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to give it away for peanuts. Like if we're gonna give somebody else rights to use something that we legally own, like we're getting something good out of it.
oh yeah, for sure.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm
totally
saying?
agree with you. And I think on the humanitarian aspect, I think like Disney's was in the wrong. There's definitely like statements that have come out from like Joan and stuff like that are really disheartening to hear because it's like, fuck, man, really? Like, just be a person.
Yeah, he was just like an old man too. Like,
But
just
on
be
the
respectful.
corporate side of it, I kind of see where Disney's coming from.
No, I do too.
Where they come to the table and they're like, hey, we took a character that you basically fucked into the ground that was not doing well. We revitalized it. We created a ton of fucking fan interest in it to where like it's doing on its own solo movies $1 billion.
And I think now like they've also casted.
We've done our part. We want more now.
No, and they've casted what is arguably probably the public's favorite Peter Parkers of all time.
Peter Parker.
Which I really do think Tom Holland is the perfect Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
Peter, he's great.
Because he's the one we all think of in our head. He's a 16, 17-year-old kid. He's super skinny. He's not super buff.
He's awkward. He's very average looking. He's not.
And he's
crazy.
just a
And
sweet,
he looks like
innocent
Peter.
kid.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think like Disney has a point where they're like, we've done the majority of the hard work here, and we've brought it back, and with our guidance, we've done this, and we're not asking for the rights. We're just asking for the money, especially since we're really the ones promoting it. It's in our universe that we've built over 10 years. That like without us, like you wouldn't have this.
Yeah, because fucking Sony was redoing a new Spider-Man movie every like 3 or 4 years with a new character.
They couldn't get it right.
There's
man.
a new origin story. Like,
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see where Disney can go into the room and be like, look, fucking
Yeah.
no, we're not doing this anymore. But I can also see where Sony's like, we're also not going to.
I'm on Sony's side,
be,
but
blindsided.
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Marvel comes back.
Marvel, they're gonna make a deal.
They're going to, and it's going to cost Marvel probably a lot of money.
But Marvel wins in the long game here, I think. Because if Sony keeps Spider-Man attached to the MCU like this, and it gets further and further, they're going to lose the ability to take him out. Right now, I think it's even a little too far gone, but it's better than later. Because imagine 3 years from now, when Spider-Man's fully entangled and he is the face of the MCU, now that Tony Stark is gone and Captain America's gone, he's going to be the face of the fucking MCU. Once that happens, you're not pulling him. Because you're going to have so much fucking fan backlash and no one's going to go see your goddamn movie.
Nobody's
fuck this.
Nobody's going to want to see another Sony Spider-Man movie. They're going to be like, for
Especially after
what?
you have the fucking face of the MCU right there.
Yep.
It's like, so I get Sony also maybe being a little trepidatious when it
Now
comes
would
to
be the
continue.
time for them to make a deal.
Yeah.
To say like, hey, listen.
Oh, I think Disney makes a big mistake if they don't make a deal.
They don't. And honestly, I think what Sony should be doing is leasing him out. Not selling him. But
That's
leasing him
basically
out.
what they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, be like, hey, and do it like, bro, do it like a literal car lease. Like, hey, you have the lease for Spider-Man for 3 years. We'll renegotiate in 3 years and see how he's doing. Because if he's doing really great, we want to negotiate and charge you more. If he's doing terribly, we'll give you a discount.
Yeah.
So we can all keep making money. At the end of the day, that's what they really want. They all just want to keep making money.
Oh, yeah.
This
all
is a
corporate.
business.
Yeah, of course.
But whatever.
Sony
Neither of
didn't
us
want to give up money.
Neither of us have an MBA, so
What does it matter? I can still look at the market.
I can make speculations
Nutcracker.
and things.
Speaking of superheroes,
Yes.
have you seen a little show called
The Boys.
The Boys?
Dude, so I read The Boys.
You read The Boys?
Yeah, like when it first came out.
I did not read The
I had
Boys.
one of my cousins was really into it, and he told me about it, and I read it. and it was very intense. It kind of gave me do you remember Preacher?
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of felt like I was reading Preacher again.
Oh wow. Violent.
It was very violent, very grotesque.
I heard that the show definitely like toned down the amount of grotesque.
There was
violence.
a lot of grotesque violence in the comics,
Yeah.
and this one toned it down, but toning it down is almost
Still
an
pretty,
it's
yeah.
an insult. Like they sort of just like I think they took it from 11 to like 9.5
They're like,
because it was still like whoa.
yeah.
There was a lot less
Oh.
sexual gratuity.
Really quick,
Yes.
everyone who's listening right now, if you have not seen The Boys,
Pause.
skip ahead or pause.
ahead. I don't
Go
know how
watch The Boys. Spoilers.
It's 8 or 9 episodes. Just power through it.
Full spoilers, and it's amazing. Full spoilers. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Support it. It already got greenlit for season 2, but go support the Boys. It's a great show.
So it was like I said, there wasn't as much sex and raunchiness as there was in the comics.
Okay.
But there was enough that you were like, okay, I can't see this with young people around me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely TVMA.
Yeah, but it was great. I loved the choice of Carl Urban as Billy Butcher.
Dude.
And I like that they gave him a beard this time
good.
around. He nailed the accent perfectly. I do like that they changed Huey a little bit because the Huey in the comics just looks punchable. Like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I want a superhero to kill him.
Yeah.
Like I don't like him, but this new Huey, I like him a lot more.
Do you think that he more quickly kind of like gets gritty? Like he develops a little more quickly in the show than he does in the comics? Is that why he's more
I mean, the
punchable in
comics is a much slower burn.
Okay, so
but
maybe so he's a bigger puss for longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that like he becomes less of a bitch in the show very early on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but
like
it's super drastic. It's not a slow burn. You're just like,
No.
oh, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. Oh no, he's not anymore.
Not a bitch anymore.
And
He's
then
not a
once
bitch anymore.
and the thing, like what I liked about his character development in the show was that like he's not a bitch, but then like he rationalizes why every episode. Like you see him constantly fighting with this like, no, but this isn't right. And then he's like, yeah, but also fuck everybody.
Yeah, but also my girlfriend getting fucking blown up when A Train runs through her is not right either. So go fuck yourself.
Which they tweaked a little bit, like how Robin dies versus the comics.
How does she die in the comic?
I believe A Train throws like a supervillain through her by accident or something like that,
Oh, so
or
he
he like
doesn't-
tackles somebody through her.
Oh, that's right. Because I heard that the show reveals a lot about like Homelander's plan and like that arc is quick in the show. It's like, whoa, we're jumping real quick.
Yeah. So in the comics, it's like I said, it's a much slower burn. But the comic also has a bunch of twists and turns that, again, because it's a show, they're going to take creative liberty and they're going to change some things.
Yeah.
So the story's not going to be like panel for panel exactly as the comics.
Yeah. Well, I heard that whole end section, like the whole section with his son, is like totally.
That's all new. Yeah.
That's all like for the show.
No, yeah. In the comics, so the way the comics work out is that Homelander was raised in a lab. Superheroes don't just happen.
Superheroes are all
they're
made in a
genetically
lab,
engineered
yeah.
super soldiers that just everybody has a different power. He gets brought up in a lab, and that's why he becomes a sociopath.
Yeah,
he was
he's
never given to
basically
a family.
He's raised by scientists. Yeah.
Right.
But he's basically Superman without kryptonite.
Yeah. Well, he genuinely wants to be like a good person, but his sociopathic tendencies get worse over time. And over time in the comics, you watch his sanity completely just erode away.
Oh,
and he
'cause he's
becomes
like-
a supervillain.
He's like a sociopath from the jump.
From the
in the
jump,
show. In
but
the show,
there's
you're
a-
like, oh, you're fucking.
Yeah. But in the
horrible.
comics, there's a part of him that like he genuinely wants to do good things. But every time he tries to do something good, he ends up realizing that he's like, but I'd also rather kill a bunch of people. So his hobby becomes murdering like innocent people. There's a lot more rape in the comics, like a lot of rape. It's not fun. And it's very like,
I could see why they would tone that down.
it's a lot of rape. And it's like not like subtle, like, oh, they walked into this room. No. They show it. Like,
Oh wow.
they show him like forcing people down and raping
This
them.
is probably why DC didn't want to release it.
Yeah.
And they had to go to Image
Yeah.
because there was no way that DC
No.
or they went to Image, right? Because it's an Image
Yeah.
comic now.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is an Image comic.
Yeah, because I think it started at DC, and then DC started seeing like the tone.
they were like, no.
These are kind of way too close to Justice League characters.
Like DC they just released like the first ever Batman comic where you see Batwang. Yeah, you see Bat Pee-Pee.
Batwang?
You see Bat Pee-Pee.
Go Bat Pee.
Yeah, go Bat Pee-Pee.
Holy bat dicks, Batman. That's a huge schlong.
Bruce Wayne probably would have.
Oh, Bruce Wayne is
Probably packing heat.
The heat.
Straight sledgehammer. Like,
Dude, I'm saying it's a perfect 9.
do you have a permit for that thing?
I think it's a perfect rock hard 9. Big girth. Make a horse blush. Wow. You know what I mean?
I don't know horses could blush, but anyways. So yeah, in the comics, Homelander, his whole goal is to eventually become like a world conquering supervillain. Mm-hmm. He has sort of like a Magneto feeling to it, where he's like, humans are fucking people. Trash. Yeah, super people should rule the planet. He kills the president at one point, like him and a bunch of superheroes charge like the White House, and other superheroes try to stop him. And he literally just like eyeball Superman, laser vaporizes all. There's a scene where it's just a bunch of superheroes flying at him. And in the next scene, they're all in the same position, but all of their heads are pink mist because he just laser visioned all of their brains. And they kill the president and all this shit. And you find out in the comics, I don't think they're going to do this in the show, but for the comics, you find out that Black Noir is actually a clone of Homelander who was built by the Vought company as an insurance policy in case he ever went rogue.
What?
And they made him stronger. Like,
I wonder if they might do that for the show.
I doubt it.
Black Noir, they haven't revealed yet.
He just sits there. All I know is he knows how to play piano and he claps like a weirdo. If you watch really closely in the show how he claps in some instances, he doesn't clap like this. He claps like both hands symmetrically like robot, touching. Yeah. Like, hello, this is good.
So what did you think of the show?
The show was excellent. The ending, bro, drove me to a place in my mind that I didn't know I could go.
But like,
I have to talk to you about. No, I have to like confess some shit to you about this.
Okay, go on.
So you know, in the show,
okay,
like Billy's whole goal is to kill Homelander because he raped his wife, right?
And then she literally dipped, and he thinks that she committed suicide.
Right. So there's this scene where Madeline, the old CIA head of operations, came up to him and was like, I have something I need to show you. And it's video footage of his wife and Homelander consensually walking into the room. And she's like, she was in there for 3 hours. And when she comes back out, she's like completely disheveled or whatever.
Yeah.
And she just puts her shoe on and she has like, she doesn't look like she was crying, nothing.
She doesn't look like she was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
She looks like she was a willing participant.
And she just put her shoe back on and walks away. You find out.
Well, she looks disheveled. She looks like she just had sex. Like she put her clothes on.
Yeah, exactly.
But she's not running out like, oh my God, like I just got raped.
Yeah. And then she just casually walks away and nobody ever sees her again. And in the show, it reveals that she gets pregnant with Homelander's baby. Mm-hmm. So totally hit her with the baby batter.
And then they give you like the Homelander perspective
where like
of the lies,
right, where like the baby claws its way out. She died of childbirth. The kid dies. They say he drowned in the blood or whatever. It was really horrible shit. And you're like, wow, okay, that sucks. Like he raped her, her rapist impregnated her, and then also, I should have said this before. Fucking trigger warning right now because we're using a lot of really harsh language that some people are going to be.
If you watch the show, but they don't show anything in the show.
No, they don't.
It's all like it's all assumed.
It's all just words. They never show anything, so don't worry about that if you're scared.
Don't worry, you're sensitive.
But then, like, you see the ending where you find out that she's totally alive.
Which I knew she was alive
and had the kid and has been raising the kid, and I was like, you fucking bitch. And like when Homelander's fucking taunting him, like, yeah, I she's a great lay. She came 3 times. And I'm like, I know that there's a part of my brain that knows that he was saying that and it's not true.
Get a rise
just to get a rise out of Billy, which is like really hard to do apparently. But a part of me was like looking back at the video portion that they show and I was like, this fucking bitch liked it. Like she wanted to have sex with a superhero. She was all about it.
Maybe.
This cheating whore.
But like, I mean, imagine it, right? Like maybe she...
And I got like mad at the character. I was like, you fucking bitch. Yeah, I was like, Billy should fucking detonate you with C4, you fucking hoe. Like,
I also didn't expect Homelander to save him.
I think, but he saved him because he's an evil asshole. Because he's like, I want to show you something that's going to hurt you more than anything you've ever felt in your life. I want you to know that I fucked your woman and she had my kid. Like,
I think also a little bit, maybe respect. Because he's like, wow, you're really gonna blow yourself up. Like, fuck. Okay, well, come here. Let me show you what I did. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I don't like. It's a weird thing because I don't know. Like, let's say she does consensually have sex with him, right?
Before you start, though,
it's an affair.
I want to tell you how good of a twist that was. That I hated Homelander from episode 1 to that scene.
yeah.
At that scene, all my hatred was devoted to Becca.
Oh, really?
I didn't care about Homelander anymore. I'm like, you're an asshole, but you know who's the real villain here? This fucking hoe.
Well, but listen, like,
That's why I was confessing. I feel bad because I'm like, does this mean I hate women? Like, what's wrong with me?
I mean, a little bit, but
Probably.
So, no, but like, let's say she has an affair with Homelander, right? I mean, it's Homelander. It's literally the most power. He's a god. Homelander's a god, right?
Yeah.
You go into the room, and let's say he charms her or whatever, and she has, this one night stand affair thing. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. Like, she leaves. She's trying to figure herself out. And then she realizes that she's pregnant. Now you're pregnant with a god. So you go to Vought, you tell them what happened. They do all these tests, they do all this thing. Like, now they're telling you, like, okay, well, you're pregnant with like literally the second most powerful being on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, or in the known galaxy.
You're gonna raise him.
So we need to figure out what's happening. And now they're probably telling you about, like, hey, Homelander's kind of a sociopath. And we think it's because he was raised in a lab.
We're gonna hide you,
And we literally have no way to stop him. So
except your son.
except the thing inside of your belly, and we need it to be raised in a way that's not like a murderer.
Yeah, we need him to become an actual hero.
So I'm thinking about it, and they're probably telling her, like, hey, you need to leave. We're gonna hide this from Homelander. You're never gonna see him again.
You're also never gonna see your husband ever.
You're never
again.
gonna see your husband again. So she's sitting in the park thinking, and she's like, I have to go do this.
Yeah, this is the only way to like save the planet, basically.
So in my mind, in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's what's going on.
Yeah, which it probably would be, and that's I hope that that's where the storyline goes.
I think that's
because like aside from hating that lady, the amount of like, and this is odd for me for shows because I'm very good at just being like, I'm watching a television show.
Yeah.
None of this is real. I care about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like on a deep level, I
hate you, bitch.
No, not like the hate. Once the hate like subsided, the amount of like pity and sorrow that I felt for Billy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Like my heart physically hurt for this man.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to see this. Like, that this dude like raped your wife?
Or in your mind, she was raped by him.
Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like if she was raped, I feel like that'd almost be a better outcome for him than if she consensually was like, yeah, I'm going to fuck a superhero.
And then dip. Oh,
and then
man.
ride out and have his kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, to me, that's why I hated her so much because I'm like, you fucking bitch. Like, really?
You fucking...
I can't believe you. Like...
I felt bad for him for a long time and then I didn't. And then, like... No, it's not that I didn't feel bad for him anymore. It's that I didn't agree with his decisions, right? Because he was so wrapped up in revenge that I think part of it I could agree with because I was like, okay, yeah, obviously, like, this is horrible and you'd have an emotional response where you want to fucking get revenge, but you're also fucking over a lot of people that like you care, that are
care
close
about
to you
and
care about you,
yeah.
And you're really fucking them and using them and manipulating them and gaslighting them and
which is
all
weird
for your own ends, which is turning you into the very thing that you hate.
Which is odd because in the original, okay.
For anyone that can hear that, which is everyone, someone is getting their car broken into.
I want to see if it's my name. Okay, never mind. They turned it off. Good for them. They found their keys.
Or the burglar disarmed the
right.
BB.
And he's really good at it.
He's so good at it.
In the original Boys, they used to cover up like the mistakes and shit like that for superheroes. So like,
well, in the show they do too. They like PR spin it.
No, but Vought does that.
Yeah.
The Boys did that in the comics.
Oh.
Like the Boys basically, like their original mandate was like
you're the
cleaning up messes for we were basically superhero janitors. Yeah.
And that's why they flipped.
It was like bribes, paying off, and then they found out what Homelander is like, I'm gonna take over the world. They're like, the fuck you ain't.
Interesting. So the Boys were basically caregivers or keepers.
Caretakers, yeah.
Caretakers for them.
Sort of. Vought really took care of a lot of it, but the Boys were basically there to be like, oh, this person was found, the superhero was found snorting coke. No, they weren't. We're bribing everybody and we're deleting all the evidence.
I would love to read the comic.
It's really good. Just you're gonna like the way that it's drawn. Like now that you've seen the show, you're gonna see like the guy that plays like Huey, and you're like, what? Fuck you. Also, I think
hate this guy.
A lot of it, if I remember correctly, based on the drawings, a lot of it looks like it takes place in the UK. Because Huey speaks with like a British accent in the comics, and all the police look like London Metropolitan Police.
Oh.
Like they have like the yellow jackets with the checker, the blue and white checker
Maybe it
on
is
them.
based in England.
Yeah.
Or is it based in America?
Well,
like, where's the setting of the comic?
it's both.
Oh, they're like back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's really like bloody. It's grotesque.
No, yeah.
Super violent.
Yeah.
But a lot of the characters are very like Mother's Milk, Frenchie, Kimiko. Like all of them look very similar.
I love Kumiko.
Kimiko's great.
On the show, she's I think like the second most powerful. I think she's right under Homelander on the show.
They don't know.
They don't know, but she can regenerate.
Yeah, that's the thing. She's technically immortal.
Yeah.
Like
She could just keep regenerating. I mean, Homelander can literally
the thing is that
vaporize
I don't.
her.
Yeah, I guess, but I also don't know like the extent of her powers because it looks like she's just really strong. Like she can just
Very agile, very strong.
she's like Wolverine without claws.
But she kind of has claws because she tears into people.
Yeah, but it's just her super strength. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can just literally grab you and tear you in half.
Yeah.
You know, but Homelander can do the same things. That's
Homelander honestly hasn't done much but laser eyes. He's just like bzz,
yeah. I've never
bzz,
seen him punch anything.
bzz. Yeah, I've never
I
seen
also
him be
did
strong.
kind of like the concept of how superpowers work. Like when they're trying to save the plane, and she's like, "Can't you just go outside and like push the plane up?" And he's like, "Against what? I have nothing to stand on."
He's like, yeah, I can't just.
I
what
can't
do
just
you mean?
touch it
and I'll
and-
crush the hole.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll just fly through it. It's made of fucking aluminum." And I was like,
he's like,
never
we're
thought
done
of-
here. Like, I can't do anything.
Which made perfect sense because I'm like, that's great. That's a great way to like destroy that fallacy in the Superman comics that he can just be like, oh, this cruise missile, I'll just touch it and move it. It's like,
Oh, are you ready?
no, you're
Oh,
not.
are you? No. But are you ready for the explanation for that? Why he
Go
can
on.
do it? Did you know that Superman has telekinesis?
He has telekinesis?
And that's how he keeps the plane intact. Because he puts his hands on the nose, but then he uses his telekinesis to hold the structure of the plane together as he's slowing down the momentum of its fall.
I always thought it's that Superman had control over gravity. Like his body can control gravity around him. That's how
No,
he
no,
flies. And so he can just like,
I don't know what propels
he
him.
can slow himself down. Like he can slow down his rate of descent while simultaneously letting the weight of the plane just rest on him with his super strength. So he is actually slowing the plane down.
Apparently, telekinesis.
Where did you find this out?
Telekinesis. It was like a comics explains video or something like that on like YouTube a long time ago.
And I know a lot about Superman. I didn't know he had telekinesis.
It was just like 7 common facts about Superman or 7 things about like it was like one of those where they're like explaining to, and then like they've gone through all the Superman comics, and at one point one of the writers for Superman stated that this is how this happened, so it's canon, so whatever.
I wonder if they've ever explained how he flies. Because I feel like I read somewhere that it was like him controlling gravity.
I want to know when he went from jumping really high to flying. I want to know when that. I think that was
Golden
Age. Golden Age, yeah. When it switches to Golden Age, I think that's when that.
Because
happened.
his jumps used to be like he was like a glider. Like he could just jump so high that he would eventually just like parachute down to Earth, sort of. And then eventually just turned into full blown flying. Like I can fly like an airplane.
Yeah, once he got flying, I think he also got like heat vision and fucking ice breath and all that shit.
X-ray vision.
Yeah.
Also, I liked it in they changed up the what's it called? The elements in The Boys. How like Homelander's X-ray vision. It's not that he can't see through lead; he can't see through zinc.
Yeah, they changed up like their weird like holes, the holes in their powers. I liked it. A-Train was
super speed.
Super speed. No, but like how did they switch it up?
What do you mean? How did they switch it up?
It's not like it's solely based on his muscles. Like it's not based on like the speed force or anything.
Yeah. It's not magical powers. He's just crazy fast. But I did
really
like that they
fast.
did the same thing that they do with a Flash. How like he's got to consume like 3,000 calories an hour just to be able to do the running.
Also, the way they take him out with the leg, where Kumiko
That was oh my god,
snaps his femur in half
and just pokes it out, compound fracture through the inside of the thigh. Oh my god,
dude, it couldn't have happened to a worse guy. A-Train was my least favorite hero.
I couldn't.
I like the Deep more than I like A-Train.
I want to know what's going on with him because after he fucking had his Britney Spears moment where he shaves his head, I was like, and what's next?
And he promised to fuck that dolphin. He was fucking.
Wait a minute.
He does fuck dolphins.
I have to tell you this before we continue.
What?
If you're still listening to this, there is
If you're still listening.
a rape scene in the show, but
it's like a Harvey Weinstein scene.
Yeah,
It's very much a callback to like the Me Too Harvey Weinstein
with
stuff.
the gills.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an unconventional
Again,
kind of
why I'm
role
using air
reversal rape.
quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that like episode 1 with
No.
Deep and
Although
Starlight.
they just showed his butt cheeks. That was it. That was quick.
Starlight. No, yeah, but he like forces her to. She does.
Well,
do
in the
it. She
comics,
sucks
it
his
was
dick.
worse. In the comics, it was Homelander and the Deep.
Oh, really?
Or sorry, Homelander and A-Train. And A-Train's a white guy in the comics.
Oh,
And they basically, I think they Eiffel Towered her.
and is she the same kind of character in the comic where she's like she is a superhero?
Yeah, she's Annie January.
Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Dude, there was like that's one of the things that I love
It is
about.
super fucked up. Like,
Oh yeah, but that's what I love about the story, and I think they do a good job in the show where it's like you see these different perspectives, and then you see those characters basically either like Starlight is basically she's being like disillusioned as to what being part of the Seven is, what superheroes are, what the entire thing is.
Exactly.
All that bullshit she was raised on, it's just being thrown away.
Yeah.
Because it keeps getting destroyed every time she meets a new superhero.
Right.
She's like, oh, you're a horrible person. Got it.
Well, like in the
you
comics-
suck. Oh, you're raping me. Like,
yeah. In the comics, they do describe that there are a lot of superheroes that don't work for Vought.
That
or
are,
anything
like,
like
just
that.
good.
That they're just generally good people. Like they really are actual superheroes. But they're like on the spectrum of superheroes, they're not even in the same vicinity as someone like Queen Maeve or A-Train.
they're very lesser. Like they're very C-list.
Yeah, but they're still
style.
strong as shit. Like they can take a bullet. They have whatever powers they might have or shit like that or super strength. But
But they're not.
they're not on that level. Yeah. And that's kind of what they tried to convey about Starlight in the comics, that she's pretty much like a C-list or like a B-list hero, but her PR is so good that they're like, let's put her on the Seven.
Oh, so her power isn't that powerful. Because on the show, they make it seem very powerful.
She is very powerful. She's got laser hands.
Yeah, or she like basically sucks in all of the energy.
Yeah, she sucks in all the electricity around her, and she can just turn it into laser hands. Yeah. Like I was reading on the wiki about it that like at full tilt,
you put her in a power plant, like
no, yeah, like you could put her up against Homelander and she might actually fucking kill him. Like if she hits him directly with enough energy. There was somebody who was like writing in like the Reddit comments on like a post about the show that they're like, all it would take would be to fucking drop her like literally inside of a fucking like a nuclear power plant and just have Homelander show up and she'll vaporize him if she needs to. But for the most part, her whole thing is just she's a walking flashbang. She can just like blind you.
Yeah.
She can take a 50 cal to the fucking chest like you saw in the show and she'll just be like, fucking ow.
Yeah, all the superheroes have like a lot of invulnerability.
Yeah. But that's like a common trait with superheroes.
Yeah, invulnerability, resilience.
Except for Popclaw, who apparently is not invulnerable to a heroin overdose. So.
Oh my God, dude. But I mean, like, it was 4 full syringes of...
6.
It was 6?
3 in each arm. I mean, that's a great way to go because you just pass out in ecstasy and then suffocate in your sleep. Yeah. So, not a terrible way.
Delicious way to go.
Yeah, and in Cuba.
And were they in Cuba?
Yeah, he smuggles her to Havana.
Oh, that's where they are.
Yeah.
See, the show sometimes has like these moments where like they shift location, and I'm like, where are you?
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought the show was like really well written, beautifully shot.
It was
well acted.
It really was.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
I found myself enjoying it. Like every episode, I wanted to watch more. It was very bingeable.
I don't get a lot of shows like that anymore.
Yeah, no, and it was just such a fresh take. Like, I mean, what a great thing with, especially like with all the superhero hype. It's like, let's get a little more gritty. Yeah, let's get a little more real. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Would definitely recommend.
I had to like go and remember like what superheroes I actually liked and which ones I was not fans of, because that's one of the things that happened to me while watching the show was that I became suddenly disillusioned. I'm like, all heroes are garbage.
All the heroes suck.
Yeah, like I want more Billy Butchers. But that's why like there's certain versions of certain superheroes that I like. I adore their comics. Like I recently on my trip to Orlando, I finally I picked up like a mint never read All-Star Superman #1.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Mainly because I like the cover and like the story of how they designed the cover and the idea behind All-Star Superman was great.
Are you gonna get it graded encased?
Yes.
You should.
Yeah. It's not worth it. It's like a $5 comic, but it means something to me.
For you.
Because Superman's my favorite. And there was this I think it was what's his name? I think it's Grant Morrison. I think was the artist for this one. I think it was the last like Superman comic that he was going to draw, or the last series that he was going to be a part of for Superman. And him and the other storyboard writers and the artists were trying to figure out like, well, how do we reinvent Superman this time? Because he's been reinvented like a million times.
Yeah.
And they were at a comic book convention, like Comic-Con or something like that. and they were trying to figure out like, how do we redo Superman? And they saw this guy who's cosplaying a Superman, and they saw him on like a balcony ledge inside of the pavilion. And he was just sitting with like one leg like dangling off the edge of the balcony with the other knee like tucked against his chest. And he was just kind of hanging out, looking at everybody, just smiling. And they were like, it's described as like this perfect like shamanic experience where they were like,
right there.
And the whole concept was like, yeah, that's exactly what Superman would look like if he was real. He knows that he's invulnerable to everything. Why does he need to stand around with like his arms at his hips and his chest puffed out, looking like, you know, the fucking symbol of freedom? Like, he wouldn't care about any of that. Nothing's going to hurt this guy. He can literally just sit there and just be like twiddling his thumbs. Like, as long as I'm on top of it, everybody's safe.
And also, like, at his core, he's a guy from Kansas. Like, he's just going to chill out.
He's just a white guy. Like,
he's going to be like, hey, we got to hang out right now?
Yep.
Like, one of the best Superman stories that I ever heard about, which I don't know the name of it. I heard it on a podcast like a long time ago. It was actually...
Is it like a recent story? Like Walk the Earth?
No. Well, no. I'll explain the story to you and maybe you'll know exactly what it is. But Greg Miller from Kind of Funny is a huge Superman fan.
Shout out to Kind of Funny, by the way. Shout out to Kind of Funny. Amazing content.
But he was telling a story that like one of his favorite Superman stories and one of his favorite comics was when Superman was doing something like so not super. Where the story basically is this woman is on a bridge and she's about to jump off the bridge. She's going to commit suicide. And it like kind of introduces you to her. She goes to the bridge. She's going to jump off.
Is this the one where she's like super goth?
I don't know the details of her appearance, but I know Superman's like flying by and sees her and comes down to her and like just like floats in front of her. And she's like, holy shit, Superman, whatever. But he basically... It's a story of him talking her off the ledge.
I know exactly what story you're talking about. It's not a bridge, it's a building.
Or a building, whatever. Yeah, and she's like, don't touch me. Don't. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not just going to sit here and talk to you.
She basically missed her therapist canceled their appointment and she had like a meltdown. And she's like, nobody wants me. Nobody cares. I'm a burden on everybody. And that's the whole thing. Like Superman doesn't say anything to her. Like he doesn't put his arm out or anything. She's like, just don't touch me. And he like basically reasons with her and tells her like, I had a friend recently who like committed suicide. And he's like, I don't agree with what they did, but I'm also not going to try to stop them. It's their life. And I have no way of understanding the pain that they're going through. Yeah. I can only try to and see if maybe I can convince them. And he goes through this whole speech or whatever with her. And he ends it by telling her like, listen, if you jump, I'm not going to stop you. I won't fly down. I won't save you because it's what you want. Okay. But if you can stand there and honestly tell me that you think that there's a chance that tomorrow can be better, take my hand. And he puts his hand out, and then the next panel, they're just hugging.
Yeah, like he's hugging in the air with her, right?
And it was like, it showed like that Superman doesn't need to punch somebody to be strong.
Well, that's why.
Which is great. I love that it humanizes him.
And that's why I love bringing it up, because I'm like, that's such a great Superman story. Because it's not about him fucking saving the universe or whatever.
Like, it doesn't need to be. It's just saving one person at a time.
Just one person. Yeah. And just being there and just being a person.
And that's why I like Superman.
Him being a person.
At the end of the day, I think he also, maybe not like Superman recently, but like Golden Age Superman had a lot of... It did a lot of things and said a lot of things in the comics. Obviously, I know it's not Superman that said it, it's the writers. But he's an extension of them. And it's a lot of things that I think nowadays, definitely, especially in the current like political climate that we're in and stuff like that, that resonate really well. Like there's an old comic. And I think it's like, I don't know if it's on the cover or in the centerfold or something. I forget what it was. But it's basically Superman standing around with a bunch of kids and telling them like, don't be racist. Don't belittle anybody. Don't be xenophobic because that's just un-American. Yeah. Like, be polite, be courteous, accept everybody for everything, for their faults, their flaws, their differences, because that's what being an American is all about. And it's like, yeah, 100%. Like, there's no argument there. There can't be an argument. If there is, it's because you're wrong. That's it. I won't allow that. I won't allow those people to think that they're right. And I feel like that's finally starting to come back with some of the new Superman iterations, that they're humanizing him. They're making him, it's not so like, I don't want to say political, but they're making him more of a person and less of a superhero. Like he's having less and less like super moments and more human moments.
Yeah, which is great.
Because it's great not only because it's nice to see you humanize a superhero, but at the same time it makes the super moments seem that much more super.
Yeah, because
Like when he
you know the
punches
person
somebody-
behind it.
Yeah, but also when he punches somebody through a star, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot how strong this fucking dude is. You know,
I mean, his
'cause
powers are a little out of control. They need to fucking put them in check.
they do every now and again.
They need to put them in check.
They often, whenever they do, like I know for like New 52, they toned him right the fuck down because before New 52, he was like literally grabbing stars with
He
his
would
bare
go
hands.
sit on the sun.
Well, that's when you get Omega, I think, or Superman Prime or some
Where
shit
it's
like
the
that.
fucking three suns.
And he's all gold. He's just a golden god. Yeah, no, he's untouchable at that point.
He's literally kryptonite doesn't even affect him anymore. At that point,
He's yeah.
There's a that Max Landis run of comics, American Alien.
Yep.
Which is really great because
That was a great
it goes
series.
through. It just goes through him like learning how to fly for the first time, and it humanizes him in that way where it's like this. It's like a kid. It's like almost like super puberty, right? Where you can relate like through all the changes you went through and being excited about certain things and maybe working out and being like, oh man, I hit a new max. But for him, it's like, oh, I fucking
I can lift two tractors now.
two tractors, yeah. But also like little moments like where it also reduced his power, where he's like, I could fly at 600 miles an hour.
Let's see if I can do 700.
But if I fuck up a little bit, I'll lose control. And if I lose control and hit the ground, like I'm fucking myself up.
Yeah, or
like
I could kill somebody or I run into somebody's house or something.
Yeah, exactly. And he gets home and is all fucked up from fucking
Yeah,
wigging out and
learning
hitting
how
the
to fly.
dirt. Yeah. So it's just like little moments like that where you're like, this is great. Like this is
There's
what I
a-
want. I want to be able to relate to you a little bit more, and
Yeah.
you're not just like this fucking alien.
There's
god.
a whole series, like it's a short one, but there's a whole series about him, like where he spends like, I think it goes back to when he's like in his teens, he's like 17 or 18 or something, and he's on the farm with his parents, and he never does like a single super thing or anything like that. It's just like conversations between him and his dad and between him and his mom and just generally just being kind of like Smallville type stuff. He never puts on the costume until the very end. But it's like little things. Like he'll be helping around on the farm, and his like there's a scene where I think like his dad tries to like change one, or he's got to like fuck, I got to change one of the tires on the tractor, or whatever, and he's like looking around for the jack and he can't find it, and then you hear Clark being like, "Dad, come outside," and he goes outside and he's like, "Just come here, dude," and he just lifts up the tractor and he goes, "Go, I can hold this for days."
Yeah,
like, this
it
weighs
literally,
nothing to me.
it's literally nothing.
It's like holding a pencil, like just go. And his dad is like, I really wish you wouldn't do that. And he's like, why? He's like, because what if one of the neighbors drives up that day, or what if one of the sheriffs is driving by, and he's like, Dad, the tractor's behind the house. There's like 20 acres of cornfield between the road and our house.
And also, I'll hear them.
Yeah, like nobody's gonna see anything.
I can hear everyone's heartbeat right now.
Yeah, like we're okay. Don't
He
worry
can hear
about it.
galaxies away, by the way.
Oh yeah. Well, like Mega Superman can. Like normal Superman can't.
No, red and blue suit.
No.
Red and blue
I'm
suit
saying
can be
like 18-year-old Superman can't do that.
No, he can't do that.
No. We're talking like New 52 Superman can.
Yeah.
Because he's
Oh, no,
already
no.
like the boy.
And then there
Like-
was like on the animated, I think he was injured. So he was like rehabilitating an alien, like on an alien planet.
That's right.
And he's lifting this machine with one arm. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's about the weight of one dying star. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Are you fucking
And he's just
kidding
benching
me?
it like
He's shoulder pressing with one arm the weight of a dying star.
the little star. Infinitely dense. Yeah, he's crazy strong, dude.
I'm
He's
like, what are you
stupid.
guys doing?
But think about it, he's the benchmark. Like you set him up
Fucking-
and then you can work your way down from there. You cannot work your way up.
No, yeah, you can. And DC has one that's even strong.
Who?
Manhattan. Done. Manhattan.
Well, didn't him and Manhattan just aren't they currently doing a run right now?
Are they?
Yeah,
Manhattan
there's-
can just literally make him disappear. Because he has control over like
Reality.
reality.
But
yeah.
there's a couple of DC like entities that are stronger than Manhattan that have the same like reality bending powers.
I think Marvel won it with they made like the one above all.
Oh yeah, well he's God.
They made
He's
God.
literally God.
They were just like, we have a God character, we have the strongest character by.
He's a homeless Native American.
Yeah.
And I like that he's only ever revealed himself to Spider-Man.
And then Reed Richards' son.
Who is Reed Richards' son again?
What's his name? He literally has the power to create like galaxies.
Yeah.
He has power over reality.
Which like, yo, talk about showing up your old man.
Oh, you stretchy pop? Okay.
That's cool. Check this out.
There you go, Reed Richards' son.
Yeah, we went really deep on the nerd stuff on this
Yeah,
one.
we
huh?
really did. Franklin Richards,
Oh, that's right.
who had basically
What was his superhero name?
I think it might just be Franklin Richards. I mean, he's like, this is him as a kid creating a galaxy under his blanket
That's ridiculous.
because he just has the power of
That's nuts.
the cosmos.
Yeah, he's God.
He's God. I don't think he had a super. I think it's just
Franklin Richards. Yeah.
I think he's.
But
just
yeah,
Franklin.
I mean, there's like that run where he's like with his dad all the time and with his mom just like living on the farm. They never show you Lana. They never talk about his dog or anything like that. It's just him living with his parents every day. And like how he never has to use like his superpowers unless it's like it's a tool. You know, like his mom will be like, "Honey, do you mind getting me the mail? It's at the end of the driveway. My leg hurts or my knees hurt." And he'd be like, "Yeah." He would be like, "Okay, here's the mail." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "I ran out there." And she's like, "Oh God, Clark, you can walk." And he's like, "I know, but I don't want you to wait." And so like it shows you how like the origin of the use of most of his powers literally comes from just wanting to help his parents and make their lives easier and better. There's a scene in that series where I think there was something wrong with like the family truck and his dad was just there like, I don't understand. And he's like, "Dad, just hold on a minute." And he just x-ray visioned the fucking block and he goes, "Oh, it's one of the spark plugs snapped in half and it's stuck in there." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I can get it out if you want." And he's like, "How?" And that's like when he's like, "I kind of learned something new about myself." Laser vision. And just like heat rays the block until he can just like move it with like, he can pick it out with his hand. Because it was like fused to the metal. And he's like, "What if I unfuse it?" And his dad is just like, "What the fuck? You can do that? Like, don't ever use that in the farm." Like he yells at him. And Clark was like, "Yo, what the? I thought it was helping you." And he goes, "Do you realize that if you like lose control of that, you can kill one of us? You can set the whole farm on fire."
Yeah. Or you'll kill someone like 3 miles that way.
Yeah, like don't ever do that unless you really absolutely have to 100%. Yeah. And it shows how like even though you're a superhero, like you're becoming a superhero, your parents are still going to have wisdom that you're never going to find anywhere else because they're not going to look at it the way you're looking at it. You're looking at it as like, what a concept. I've got heat ray vision.
Yeah.
But your parents are like, "Yeah, don't fucking use it like that, asshole. It's not a toy.
You're going to kill us." Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't.
They remind him of the fragility, right?
Yeah, because they're human.
One of the coolest things about Superman that I always thought about was how difficult must it be to not go super fast everywhere and force yourself to walk, which has to feel like
a waste of time.
Snail's pace. What does it feel like to treat everything like cardboard?
Well,
to treat everything...
It's like when he fights Darkseid on the moon.
Hey.
When he has the long hair for the first time.
Like, you know what? I always have to hold back.
Like
I have to treat my world like cardboard. But you...
With you, I get to let loose.
You can take a punch.
And he just fucking rails this motherfucker.
Dude, it's one of the fucking best scenes ever.
God.
Darkseid goes fucking flying.
No, and I like that he sends him into space and he's like, "No." And he flies into space to go catch him.
So good. Dude.
Just like, I think that's one of the few moments that and like the couple times that he's fought like Lobo. Or like him and Lobo.
Or Darkseid. Or
he's fought Lobo a couple times.
Not fucking Darkseid. What's his fucking cat's name? Apocalypse. Not Apocalypse. Fuck. What's his name? Fucking...
Which one? Describe him.
Death of Superman.
When he fights Doomsday.
Doomsday, there you go. Fuck.
Yeah, but Doomsday can take a fucking punch.
Yeah, Doomsday. I mean, Doomsday was created to fuck him up.
To kill Superman.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Doomsday, though.
I feel bad for Doomsday.
His
He's
existence,
misunderstood.
Yeah, because he didn't always look like that.
Nope.
He was actually like a regular Kryptonian like creature. And he kept getting killed and revived so many times that he just grew to hate Kryptonians.
Turned into that.
Yeah, you're literally just a giant spiky rock monster with kryptonite fists.
Just angry as fuck all the time. Mm-hmm. But that's Superman, I guess. Yeah, we talked about Superman for a long time.
Long time. It's okay. I'll post some pictures of
character.
the comics that I picked up in Orlando.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, post it on
because they're also going to be really beautiful, like art. Because I find like there are certain comic book covers that are art worthy. Like just the cover.
You can get them case graded, and then you can put them in a shadow box and fucking
which
make
is the
them
goal.
real
That
nice.
one in the Coheed comics that's all happening.
Oh, dude, those are gorgeous.
All my favorites.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, right here. This will look fucking tits.
For all of
well,
you
actually, I can't put it
see.
here because this is where my screens are going to be, but I can put them right here. Oh no, we can't because this is where Millie's going to put the banner, the World of Warcraft banner. So I might put them either behind you or on that wall. Probably.
Well, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out, and they'll look great.
It will.
I didn't think we were going to go so hard on the nerdies.
I didn't think so either.
But, you know, oh, and really quick,
Yeah.
side that I totally forgot to mention for Spider-Man. Good news about Spider-Man. Sony buys Insomniac Games. Creators of Spider-Man for the PS4.
What do you think they're going to do next? Obviously, the sequel to the Spider-Man game.
They're going to make 2 more Spider-Man games, and then they're going to do a new IP. And Insomniac now belongs to the first-party Sony developer.
That's going to be fun.
Fully purchased. Dude, Insomniac's an amazing studio and a crazy pickup. Like, going into the next generation, that's a big buy.
Did you see the what's it called? Like the leaked, like possible development kits for the PS5?
No, I've not.
It looks like a fucking spaceship in the shape of a V.
For sure.
Literally in the shape of a V. But then you looked at Sony's leaked like render of it, and it's just a black matte square with the PlayStation logo and the exact same PS4 controller. I literally think the PS5 is going to be a PS4 Pro that's been like tweaked to 11, and they're going to be like, let's just put it in a square this time.
No, I think
not like a slant.
Did you watch the video of the rendering video?
Yes.
So many teraflops, dude.
All of them.
So many teraflops.
Every single teraflop.
Every teraflop you could think of is in there.
It's in there. Yeah. I don't think it'll be as powerful as like a top-end gaming PC.
It'll never be as powerful as top.
But it's going to be pretty, I don't want to say like super comparable, but
going to be what I need.
Yeah, it'll probably be more than I need.
I'm not one of those people when it comes to like computers where they have to like, I need the fucking best graphics card and the best. I'm like, dude, it looks great.
Also, you don't really need top-end stuff to run games on Ultra.
Dude, you don't. I mean, it's nice. It runs
really it'd be really nice, especially if you can run it like 100 plus FPS.
But there are some games that you can't even do that with the best fucking thing in the market because it just can't take it. Because digital and hardware don't keep up at the same speed. It's so much easier to like optimize digitally than it is to optimize physically in order to fucking be able to house that digital.
I don't know. I grew up with consoles. I can't bring myself to
also, that's my ecosystem. I need my dedicated gaming hardware. And maybe one day I won't, but right now it's what I want.
Well, I guess let's jump into the Would You Rathers now that
let's jump into our Would You Rather segment.
Okay.
You want to take one? I'll take the other one.
Yeah, which one do you want? You want one or two?
By the way, Millie provided these. Our producer provided these.
I don't know where she got them from. She just added them like last minute while we were setting up the studio. So that's going to be real fun because we haven't had time to think about these.
I will go first.
I haven't even read them, so I'm just going to close my eyes.
Yes. Okay. Would you rather... Oh, shit. This sucks. Would you rather live in a Stephen King novel universe or an H.P. Lovecraft novel universe? That sucks.
Both are horrible options.
Either way, I'll go Stephen King.
I'm going to also go Stephen King simply for the fact that no matter
survive it.
Yeah, no matter what character I am, unless I'm one of the kids from It, I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. I think in Lovecraft's universe, like you either went mad or the universe ended.
Yeah.
Or you were killed by a cultist.
Yeah. Or you are a cultist and you died anyways.
Or you are a cultist and you died trying to bring back a fucking elder god.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with Stephen King on that one.
Definitely go Stephen King.
Because it might just be a murder.
Yeah, or it might be The Mist.
Yeah, which I can still survive.
You can still survive after killing your whole family.
Okay, so next one. Would you rather have magic powers that make life easier or a gadget that does the same stuff just as easily?
Magic powers.
Yeah, magic powers. Because I can't lose magic powers. I can lose a gadget.
I want that innate in me.
Yeah.
I want that inside of me.
100%.
I want to be the only person that has it, and I don't want to be able to lose it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want someone to be able to steal it either. And what does it mean make life easier?
I think it could... I mean, if it's a gadget, I feel like it's limited by the scope of its design. And by that, I mean like the gadget would have to be able to make a certain aspect of your life easier not just life as a whole. If you've got magic powers, I can make any aspect of my life easier.
Exactly. It's like, I forgot to boil the pasta. Pasta boiled.
I'm glad that both of our magic powers are snaps.
Snaps. Always snaps.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a magic thing,
it's got to have a snap.
Exactly.
A snap, a clap, or a wink.
Like, oh no, we left the cushions outside for the outside patio furniture.
They're
wet.
Now
they're dry.
Now they're inside.
And they're dry. You know? I think magic powers is the way to go here. I think you're right. Yeah. I think the gadget you can lose. I think magic powers.
Yeah, 100%. Before we go, because I promised, Matt, if you're listening, I promised you I'd give you a shout out for helping me out with that thing at work. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't know who Matt is.
He works at our store.
Oh, Well, thank you, Matt, for
I
working
can't
at
tell
the
you
store
what he
and doing
does,
your
but
thing. Oh,
he works for a tool company.
is he a sugar hooker?
What?
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 Huh?
What'd you say?
Yeah, you were saying something.
I hate
What?
you. He works at our store. He works for a tool company. I can't tell you the name of the tool company.
Oh, got it. Okay, I get it.
Think like Cherokee or Tomahawk or Seminole.
Got it.
Think like one of these things.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So he works for like Milwaukee or something like that.
Some might say, some others might disagree.
Okay. Cool. So maybe he works
But-
for like DeWalt.
Maybe.
All right. Well, maybe.
Who knows?
You guys guess, and you let us know.
Exactly. Where do you think Matt works?
Oh, also, really quick, just because I kind of feel like it's important, we should probably talk about it.
We should.
And it was at the top of the playbill. But we just kind of got into it, which I love. The Amazon's on fire, and
I forgot to mention that.
I think it's at this point over 4,000 square kilometers of the Amazon.
Something just wildly unacceptable
is on fire. For a lot of people that don't know, and there's really not a lot you can do besides, sending money or support to organizations that are trying to do something in like a real way.
Yeah.
But the Amazon rainforest accounts for 30% of our carbon dioxide cycling.
And it accounts for 20% of the oxygen output on Earth.
On Earth.
That's why it's called the lungs of planet Earth.
Not to mention it houses, I think, like 35% of all species.
Yeah,
like it's some ridiculous
It's something
number.
absurd. I think it's like considered like one of, if not the most biodiverse region on planet Earth.
It's crazy.
Outside of the ocean, I think.
Yeah. It's basically like the ocean on land when it comes to biodiversity and
it's burning to the fucking ground.
And it's burning to the ground. So
I feel kind of helpless about it because, like, what is me donating $1 going to do, or $5, $10? Like, it's not going to do anything.
Well, if everyone in the country does it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, you're counting on everybody else to follow suit, and they're not. Because unfortunately, we live in a time where the Notre Dame burns down and people raise hundreds of millions of dollars in 48 hours to rebuild it. But our planet, the thing that gives us oxygen, is dying and burning down. And people are like, I don't know, man. Popeyes has got that new chicken sandwich.
No,
I'm going to
we
donate
don't
my
know
money to
that.
that first.
But remember, like...
But we talked about this morning, and I was telling her, like, you know what? It kind of sucks, but at the same time, I feel like social media and the internet, for all the bad that they do, the fact that they give the world an opportunity to put eyes on something and put so many eyes on it that eventually it cannot be ignored anymore. So it turns like even the people that are lazy and don't want to do anything about it, fucking Jair Bolsonaro, you piece of fucking shit, worthless president of Brazil, they eventually can't ignore it anymore. Like it just becomes a PR nightmare if they ignore it.
I mean, it's going into Bolivia if it hasn't already.
Yeah, and the Bolivian government's going to have some fucking words. Like
It's one of those things that I think like Notre Dame was different based on the fact that I think a lot of the money raised was also from
really rich people.
Well, and also from the people that live in that country.
Yeah, I get it.
Like it's people in France going, okay, we're going to donate. So I think like the fact that it is in Brazil, the fact that and honestly, I don't know the intricacies of like the governmental response to
they haven't done
Amazon
anything.
burning.
They're barely doing anything. It's like,
which is ridiculous. If that really is the case, then I want to look into it more. I don't want to be ignorant.
But it's like, dude, just start calling other countries, start calling NGOs, hire like forest fire experts from the US to come by and start doing like the plane drops.
Well, the tangential news that I've gotten from it, and I don't know if it was like a valid news. I don't even remember the news source, but they were talking about how Bolsonaro had been wanting to expand into the rainforest and open it up for businesses and things like that, and I don't know if that has something to play with it. I don't know if that's it was a valid news source I got it from. In this day and age, you have to fucking
you have to quadruple.
You have to be a journalist to make sure that the journalists are doing their fucking job. So I haven't looked into it, but I mean, if that's the case, that's really sad, and I hope that there is a very big backlash to
you and I are going to have
non-response.
to. You and I are going to have to get to. Well, our generation is going to have to do this twice now. Because when we were young, we had two responsibilities. When we were in elementary school and middle school, we had to close the hole in the ozone layer. Mm-hmm. So we had to make a big hullabaloo at school with our science fair projects and all this shit about
the ozone.
About the ozone, and it worked. The hole in the ozone layer basically closed, and we were fine again. And we had to save the Amazon back then too.
Yeah,
and we did it. All of our science fair projects, all of the Scholastic book fair money, and the books that we bought. All that shit went to donations to help save the rainforest, and it worked. And now it's like, motherfucker, are you kidding me? I got to do shit again?
Now, but here's the weird thing. Here's a weird thing.
Now I'm an adult and I got to do this again.
Here's a weird thing. The Amazon belongs to somebody. It belongs to everyone, but it doesn't. You know what I mean?
It's not mine.
Belongs to no, but like it's the Amazon is this thing that it's a planetary landmark, right? Like it is the largest rainforest
On Earth. Yeah.
Housing a innumerable
Untold,
amount
yeah.
of genetic variability and life. And it belongs to a country or several countries. And it's like, and that's why it's harder to have a say about what goes on in it because we don't. It's like, oh, the United States cares about what's happening in the Amazon. And then Brazil and Colombia and Ecuador. And they're just like, and?
Yeah.
Like, the fuck do you do?
But see, that's why sometimes I think...
We have thoughts on Yosemite. We can't fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but...
so it's like one of those things where it makes it harder because of that. Like, the ozone layer thing, it's about, like, what we're doing as a people... Like what we're releasing into the atmosphere. Let's stop doing that.
No, this is much more a regional problem with
exactly
like
which makes
deforestation, farmers burning down parts of the jungle so that they can like make land to grow shit, which is like
and then not knowing how to do a controlled burn. So the burn
because they're
loses
fucking idiots. That's the thing. They're just uneducated farmers. Like I get it. It's not like the farmers that we have here in the U.S. that are like people that go to school.
What caused the fires to start?
So because
it's hard for me to understand why a rainforest would catch fire.
I have heard like tangential reports on this, like here and there, that this has been like an unusually dry season. Like they have dry seasons in the rainforest, believe it or not, but this has been like weirdly dry. Mm-hmm. And they think that it's a combination of, again, uneducated, fucking unexperienced farmers setting uncontrollable fires and not setting safeguards in place, like digging fire lines first. That lightning strikes, which... preventable. That's a natural hazard. You have to live with it.
Also, if the forest catches fire naturally,
it'll put itself out naturally.
Yeah, but a forest... No, but like... I mean, look what happened in California, where I don't even think it was arson. I think one of those wildfires it was a wildfire.
Lightning, yeah.
It was
lightning striked and boom.
And I was like, that's life. Like, that's just the world. That's just the planet.
But here's the thing, though. As horrible as this is, jungles and forests alike have to go through a cycle where they set on fire and they burn down. Because you have to make space in the canopy for new trees. Yeah. And there's a lot of seedlings, saplings, things like that are deep in the ground that would never have a chance to grow. But now that you cleared out all this shit out of the way, all this material falls on the ground and the heat basically fertilizes and germinizes. Is that the word? Germinates the seedlings and they grow super fast. That was a really good snap. And so you get like new growth from a fire, which is weird that life works that way. So like I'm not super concerned about the rainforest. My concern is that once the fires are put out, what happens next? That they just leave it alone and let the forest do what it needs to do.
They're going to encroach on it.
Of course they are.
Because it's already burned. They're like, well, it's already burned.
Let's build a parking lot.
Build a parking lot. Yeah. Let's build a stadium. Let's build a hotel. Let's build a fucking apartment complex.
This is the thing.
But but that's why it's important. Go get fucking educated. Go find out about it. Go see what you can do if you care. If you don't care, whatever.
No, and if you can't do anything about it, listen, at least just share. Put stuff on your social media. Make it so that this is a thing that cannot be ignored. Because if it can't be ignored, if everyone's talking about it, then it becomes public outrage. If it becomes public outrage, then the people who can do things about it, like who are responsible for this, like politicians and shit like that, they then they're like obligated to do something about it. Not because they want to, but because this is the election cycle. That's how they stay in power, is by keeping people happy, to some degree.
And also when you go...
And meeting expectations.
Yeah. And don't be emotional about it. Go learn.
Just be a scientist.
Go learn. Go see what's up. Look at the facts. Look at what's being done. Look what's not being done. Make an objective stance and go with that.
Also, no one's going to argue with you that this is a good thing.
No one's going to argue. No, the arguments come in when you talk about what can be done or the actual impact. No one wants the Amazon to be on fire. No one's going to agree with you, but they will argue the semantics of it already being on fire.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, keep aware the Amazon is on fire.
Jinx, bitch.
Bitch, you owe me a baby. What?
What? Okay.
Go steal me a baby.
God damn it. All right, fine.
So, yeah.
All right, well. I guess that's basically it for today.
I think that's it for our day here.
And is it still fucking raining?
At the shop.
No, I think it probably stopped.
It's Miami, so it probably stopped for 10 minutes. It'll start in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it'll start right as you're ready to leave and go to your car.
Yeah, and then once I get home, it'll stop on the way home, and when I park, it'll start again.
Yeah. What do you got going on for the rest of the day?
Just construction stuff. Just going back home, meeting
Supervising
more
the contractors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know what else.
Okay.
If you guys want to come over, check out the house.
I think we
more
might.
than welcome. Fucking come over.
We might. I know Jay and Mitzi wanted us to pass by tonight at some point, but I don't know.
Come on over to our house.
I don't know if Mitzi's still having an issue with that smoothie.
I have no idea. But yeah, but come by our house.
We'll bring
Let
her
us
some
know.
Depends if we go.
But that's pretty much it.
So,
How about you?
I don't know.
Possibly coming to my house. Possibly going to Mitzi and Jay's house.
Who knows? When we're done here, I'm gonna go play some Destiny.
Ooh.
It's my Saturday off. I want to enjoy myself.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Do it to it.
That is gonna be it.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Before we go, I want to let everybody know that we are going to be tweaking the Patreon a little bit in the coming weeks.
It's Patreon announcements. Go for it.
Yeah. We're going to be tweaking the Patreon in the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to trim down some of the fat a little bit, and we're going to be a little bit more concrete about the options that we give you folks. I think that's basically it as far as Patreon announcements, other than, if you want to support the show, go to Patreon. We have a lot of stuff that we offer. We're getting better at it. We do want to do another run of the stickers. The stickers were very popular. Like the test run was great.
Definitely want to do stickers.
A lot of people liked the quality. They liked the size and everything of the stickers. So we're going to dabble in that a little bit more. I think we've pretty much gotten down the size that we like.
We have the $5.
With a $5 Patreon tier. So that's going to include a sticker as well.
It'll be a sticker, and you'll also get like access to our test.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing
test audio.
Yeah, when we do our sound checks before we actually record, we're gonna start saving those as like separate audio segments.
Because they're like 6 minutes of just.
They are, because we just talk shit. It's how we warm up.
It's us being silly, yeah.
But you get to hear some content that isn't edited, and that's the thing. We're gonna give it to you unedited. It's just gonna be the raw recording.
And if you're interested in knowing a little bit more, like with the BTS of the show, or what we're like, when we're not like on.
Exactly.
Check it out, and it's a nice little like $5 perk. Yeah. And then we have $10, which we come to your house and we blow you. So.
James comes to your house and he blows you.
I go to your house and I blow you.
Yeah. I go to your house on a separate date and I insult you incessantly for 15 minutes.
Yeah. At the door.
I don't even come inside. Just open the door.
Doesn't even take off his sunglasses.
Nothing.
Disrespectful.
Which is, the crazy part is?
What?
I don't even have sunglasses.
Wow. There you go. And he still doesn't
I
take
steal
them off.
your sunglasses.
Yeah. And he keeps them on. And then he takes them. And he steals them for real. And it's a crime, but it's okay.
But it's okay because I showed up and you paid $10 for this. So
and
it's
also,
a transaction, not a crime.
Yeah. And also, fuck off.
Yeah. That's what $10 gets you.
Yeah. Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. You know what I mean? Find them on your face. I keep them.
Wow. That's fucking brutal.
But yeah, so check out Patreon if you want to support the Patreon.
Yeah.
It is always appreciated, and it really does help us, kind of make the show better and give us a little more room to breathe and do stickers and do, get better equipment and hopefully eventually do a video.
Yeah, all the Patreon money, by the way, goes towards it. Like literally just goes back into the show.
Oh, it immediately goes back into the show.
We don't keep any of it.
Yeah,
like we just leave it in the Patreon account until we're like, okay, what's the next piece of gear we need?
Yeah,
and then we cash out and we use it to buy that. The last run of stickers was done with all Patreon money,
which is amazing.
This mic stand, the new black one that I got, this was Patreon money.
Beautiful. It's amazing that like the things that like the fact that we can make a thing or purchase a thing with the money we've raised from this.
Yeah,
it's kind of nuts.
It is, and like I know we sometimes it gets tiring hearing it, but like whenever you guys donate, and whether it's donating to Patreon or donating your time on your social media and like tagging us on your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever, like we see it and we really appreciate it because we do want the podcast to grow. We want to reach a bigger audience and we want to keep you guys, like entertained. That's really what it's about, is keeping you guys entertained, because this entertains us. It's our hobby. But if we get to entertain you in the process and make you happy,
it's cool.
Even better.
It's cool. So love you guys.
Yeah. Please take all your purchases to the front of the store because it's about time to close up shop.
Yeah. And you don't got to go home.
But you can't stay here.
But you can't stay here.
At all.
In
fact, security will have you removed forcefully.
You can get maybe a hotel that's close by.
Perhaps.
You could stay there, maybe wait till we reopen. But it's kind of creepy, and I don't know if I'm really feeling comfortable with that. So,
and I'm a little worried about your safety.
Safety at a hotel?
I mean, it could be a murdery motel.
Ooh, we are not in a good part of town.
We're not.
So
I mean, we are, but we're not at the same time.
But we're not. So
the geese around here are very, very, very violent.
Whatever you do, just don't be creepy, and
Yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.
And then come back when we're open. So
this is the longest outro ever.
Yeah, okay. I love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.